if you had to describe your signature scent, what would it be? Sweet, floral, flirty? I don't know, I'm gonna have to think it over. Whew, there we go. New Day Northwest starts right now.
It's a new day.
Now, from the Virginia Mason Franciscan Health Studio at King 5 in downtown Seattle, this is New Day Northwest.
Good morning and welcome to New Day, and a big congratulations because you guys, we did it. We made it to spring. The spring equinox occurred at 2 o'clock this morning. Not that you'd probably know it by looking outside, but that's okay. And I want to bring in producer Rebecca.
Wah, wah.
I know, wah wah. You and I were obviously hoping to see just a smidge of sunshine today.
But then would it really be spring in Seattle? I feel like you need, it's like all four seasons in 10 minutes. You walk outside, you get your rain,
It's
you
so
get the
true.
hail comes down, you're like, oh, it's spring.
That's what I was gonna say. The last couple years just feels like we've skipped spring completely and just gone, you know, it's cold and then it goes to summer.
I know.
So
It's like that traditional spring weather that everyone thinks about. You get like after Memorial Day or like July 5th.
Do you think this is an underrated season? Like, is it one of your faves?
I love spring.
You do?
I do. I love the colors. I love the flowers. You get the little baby animals that all are over the place. You've
little
got
baby
like
animals.
baseball starts. You've got March Madness that's going on today. Like, it's so, and Easter candy is the best candy of all the candy.
I know. Getting out there and having like a little, like, we still do like a family like egg hunt in the backyard at my parents', which is really fun. But I guess some of my least favorite things, I think about allergies. I think about, like you were saying, it's giving us everything, like rain still,
I know.
mud, it's still kind of cold. Like, I just want Seattle sometimes to make up their mind. But I do love seasons. Like, I'm a fall girly, I'm a summer girly, and then spring is probably number
I
three.
love all the green that comes out, but like, it is one of those FOMO things where like all the cute spring clothes are coming out and the dresses and you're like, oh, I just want to wear those so bad, but it's 40 degrees and I'm scraping my windows still.
I know. And then when I sometimes am like, oh, I'm going to wear this dress, and I realize, wow, I might really need to see the sun. Like, that might need to happen.
I know. But spring, thank you. We're glad that you're here.
I know.
Yeah.
And we are glad that you were here, Rebecca. Thank you so much, as always. We appreciate it. And now, first up this morning, we're starting with a new book that's really caught our attention and alerted us to something we never knew about. Did you know that you can make dye from mushrooms? Julie Beeler is the author of the Mushroom Color Atlas, a guide to dyes and pigments made from fungi. And she's got an event tonight at the Elliott Bay Book Company. But first, she's here in studio. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It's
This
wonderful
is so
to be
fun.
here. Yeah.
You have such an interesting spread, but before we get to what we're actually working on today, I want you to tell me about how you got into mushrooms and learning that you could actually, like, they could create this dye.
Yeah. Well, growing up in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest, I was always excited to see little fruiting mushrooms, even as a little kid.
Aww.
So I decided I would join my local mycological society to learn more. And I'm also a textile artist and a designer. And I thought, I want to start making my own colors. Do mushrooms make color? I did a Google search and I came across Miriam Rice's book. She kind of started this contemporary movement that I'm part of back in the 60s.
Wow. Okay, you're going to show me too. We're going to do a little art project
We
this
are.
morning that I love. So show me the process that goes into this.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've cooked up some mushrooms. These are lobster mushrooms. And for everyone out there, they're probably wondering, why is she cooking them up and turning them to paint?
That was going to be my first question. Okay.
So lobster mushrooms are great, edible mushrooms. People love eating them, but I love making color. So what I did is I cooked them up and have made this red dye bath with them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I wanted, I could put fiber into this, like what I'm wearing or what you're wearing, anything, and dye these wonderful colors of reds and so forth.
So these are all the colors that are in your book too of what the mushroom dyes can.
Yep, here's some examples of dyeing fiber in these mushrooms, and I've got a whole array. They make every color under the rainbow.
And
it's
this
so
is the
exciting.
lobster one that we're working with today,
that is,
right?
and these are
Okay.
the pieces here. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make paint. We're gonna make watercolor paint.
Let's do it.
So
okay.
I cooked these up, I steeped them kind of like a cup of tea, and here we have it. I am gonna add some alum which is
Oh.
something that we use like for pickling. You can find it at the grocery store.
Easy.
And look what happens.
The coloring already.
I know, it started to change.
Yes.
So we're gonna just stir that up a little bit.
It almost
and
looks
get
like
it
an
to,
ombre. Oh, now it's going orange, like citrus. We're
I
giving
know.
all the colors. Okay.
Exactly, it's a magic trick, and it's perfect for spring. As
It
we welcome in.
is.
And now I'm gonna add some soda ash to this,
Soda ash.
and look at what happens.
Colors changing again.
Yes.
Whoa.
So what we've done is by adding these elements, we have captured all of the little color molecules that are in there, and they've gone to like some speed dating dancing thing, something. They've all found each other. They're having a great time in this dye bath, and pretty soon, in about 10 to 20 minutes, it's going
What's
to keep bubbling.
That's what I was. It looks
Yeah.
like it's like bubbling up, like science. We love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
little science experiment. And so basically what's going to happen is all that color is going to get heavy, drop to the bottom, and separate, and it's going to turn into this dried pigment that we can now make into any kind of paint we want.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you
Yeah.
have some paint here, right?
Yes.
What's happening?
So often what happens, so I've got the paint there, and I would put it in a mortar and pestle and make it all nice and smooth, and then I would ground and mold that paint. And so it's a historic way of how artists would make their own paints from natural colors. So I did that
beautiful.
in advance, and I've got some watercolor here that we can play with.
Yes. Okay. And I can tell. Obviously, you're very artistic. What else are we seeing over here as I doodle? I'll try. For
Yes,
a
we're
fish
both going to
today.
doodle.
We're
Well,
going to doodle.
You're braver than me. I thought I'd draw a mushroom, but I don't know that I can do
Get
it under
it. That
pressure.
would be amazing.
But what we have are some embroidery. Those are mushrooms over there. That's actually what the mushroom looks like, and they're embroidered with the threads, the colors of the mushroom. So I have those, as well as some painting swatches and all kinds of things. So
This is
how's
so
it?
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
working really well. I'm really impressed with the colors. And why do you think people should do this with mushrooms too? Because like you said, there might be some questions like, why?
Why? Well, to me, you're unlocking this incredible universe of color that lurk in fungi, which is something that we don't always consider.
Yeah.
Because when we think of mushrooms, first thing maybe that comes to mind is eating them. And I think that as we look at kind of the sustainable biocolors movement that's out there, where we're needing to look to natural materials, fungi's perfect to make these
is.
colors for all of us.
And so what are some of like the other mushrooms that you use? Like, is it any mushroom that, I mean, like what?
Sadly, it's not.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be amazing if it
It
was?
would.
Yeah. So, chanterelles are not going to make a great color for us, but these lobster mushrooms do. And this is a really special
huge,
mushroom.
yeah.
I know. Can you just hold it for me?
This doesn't look like, I would not think that was a mushroom.
It's like a piece of wood.
It does look like a piece
It's
of wood.
crazy. So
What is that?
So this is paint fungus, and this is something that grows in our region. And indigenous peoples along the coast of Northwest North America have used it historically for the aesthetic and symbolic body paint. It came from this
Gosh.
mushroom. So this is really
amazing.
incredible. And the other thing I love about this specimen is do you know what all that white?
No.
That is the mycelium. Those are the roots of the fungi.
Wow.
And then this thing that I'm holding, that's the fruit. It's the mushroom.
Do you
So-
are you out in nature, like walking around and just
I
stopping
am.
all, like how long are your walks? Are
Oh.
you just like, ooh, look at that mushroom?
No one wants to go on a hike with me. I will
Fair
be
enough.
out there for hours, and I will walk less than a mile because
Oh,
you're just
my
walking in
goodness.
circles looking at everything that's down there. And it's so much fun. And I spend hours in the woods. I live in Trout Lake, Washington, at the base of Mount Adams. So I have the Gifford Pinchot National Forest as my backyard. Yeah.
Okay, and with the book, what else can people get in there? Because when I was looking through it, all the chapters were just broken out so beautifully, the way you
thanks.
explained everything. So walk people through that.
Yeah, so with the book, it's organized into 3 sections. And there's a ribbon for each section. So they're organized by the colors. So if you want to look at all the colors under the rainbow, that chapter is there for you to look
Gosh,
at.
look at all of those. Beautiful.
I know. And then we've got the mushrooms themselves.
yes, section 2.
So we're looking at the mushrooms, these incredible illustrations that were made by Willi Gates
Stunning.
in the UK, all hand-drawn pencil
Really
colored pencil.
beautiful.
So then we've got the mushrooms and all the colors they make, and then finally, when we flip to the end, we've got the process.
Oh.
So it's kind of equal parts art book, field guide, and like color distillation workshop. So you can go through, and it's very simple and easy to do. And for all those foragers out there who are looking for mushrooms to eat or medicinal mushrooms, they
Yes.
can add this now to the repertoire and look for mushrooms for color.
Absolutely. I'll continue with my painting. Thank you so much for being here, Julie. We so appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
There's my little fish.
I know.
See, I
Well
did something.
done. You
Thank
did it.
You.
You did it.
And just a reminder, Julie is holding an author event tonight, Thursday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at the Elliott Bay Book Company on Seattle's Capitol Hill. And next up, National Fragrance Day is tomorrow. So later in the show, I'm spritzing with Nordstrom. National Beauty Director Autumn West has scent recommendations no matter your mood or your budget. And also ahead, we're in the kitchen with Willi Galloway and her new cookbook, Grow, Cook, Eat. A tasty veggie toast recipe is headed your way. But up next, the Infatuation is here to talk to us about where to eat in Seattle. We get some honest opinions thanks to one senior staff writer. Stay tuned. The Infatuation Seattle is something I followed for years on social media. Their mission is simple: bring honest opinions on where to eat around the city. It's real people with real hot takes, so you can decide where to spend your money. And here with me now on some favorite stops is senior staff writer Amy Rizzo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
I have followed you all for so long, including you. Like, I love all of the guides and lists. So for someone, though, that doesn't know, what is the Infatuation?
So the Infatuation is a restaurant discovery platform, and so we're here to provide expert restaurant recommendations for virtually every situation, no matter how specific, both in Seattle and around the world. And so we do that through reviews and guides written from the perspective of a highly trained critic that's also your best friend. And so we dine anonymously, we book under fake names, we show up unannounced, and this is important, we don't accept any free meals or PR invites, so that keeps us honest and unbiased.
How many times do you go to one particular place before you feel like you give them a rating? Is it several times?
It depends. It depends. It could be a couple times if we feel that we're confident enough to have a take and give a rating. Other times, sometimes we have to go 5-6 times, but we are eating out multiple times per week. So
this is kind of my dream job. And you said you operate all over what city? Seattle?
So we operate in 12 cities across the country and in London. So lots of coverage there. We also do guides for cities where we don't have full-time coverage, so from Portland to Rome, Italy.
So amazing. Okay, we can look you up for everything.
Yes.
So I want to talk about Seattle's classic restaurants, and we're going to start with the first one, Ludi's, as one of your favorites.
Yes, so my editorial team and I just published a collection celebrating the classics. These are restaurants that some of them have stood the test of time, but others are possibly newer and are just household names. So we'll start with Ludi's.
Yes.
You can spot their yellow and blue sign from a mile away. It's a beloved Filipino diner downtown. They generate these huge lines every morning, but it is worth it for their stack of bright purple ube pancakes.
Oh my gosh, I've seen this on social media and never gone. So, okay.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Marination is next. Tell me about this one.
Yes. So I don't know about you, but I am planning every summer around a trip to Marination Mackay on Alki Beach in West Seattle. It's a fantastic Hawaiian restaurant, and I know I'm going to say classic 100 times today, but wow, what a classic. It's on the
Look
water.
at that view.
Yes, the view is gorgeous. You can sit out and admire the skyline, and they have delicious Hawaiian food, amazing strawberry lemon frosé, and a fried fish sandwich for the books.
Say less. Okay, Pink Door. This is iconic. Their lasagna. I mean, I can't. Tell me about it.
Yes, the Pink Door. I mean, you said it all. It's an icon. It's in Post Alley. It needs no introduction, but it is an unmarked pink door. But once you're in, you're met with this electric energy. The Prosecco is flowing, and that lasagna lives rent-free in my head. It is a wonderful plate of pasta.
100. I just got goosebumps. I love it. I always go there for my birthday. You have another unique one next. That's a sushi sushi experience, right? What's this one?
Yes, so Maneki in Chinatown International District is not just one of the best Japanese restaurants in town, it's also the oldest. Which is a great fun fact, but they have stood the test of time, and I love texting them to book a private tatami room, and you can gather a bunch of friends and then go kick your shoes off and eat some sushi.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is a pro tip. See, you have all the tips.
Yes.
What is your one favorite iconic dish in the city?
It's hard to choose. There are so many. We've got teriyaki, we have pho, of course, the Seattle dog.
Yes.
But my favorite has to be the tallarin with butter and sage from Spinace, which is an Italian restaurant on Capitol Hill. I always like to say about this dish, it's something that both a grown adult and a picky toddler can come together and enjoy. It's just a bundle of delicate angel hair-like pasta with sage butter and topped with Parmesan. It's so simple, and yet it's so delicious.
It really is. That one is so good. Okay, and favorite dive bars in the city, you have Pacific Inn Pub, which I've never heard of.
Yes, we love a dive bar at the Infatuation, and Pacific Inn Pub is one of our favorites. It is in Fremont. It's an institution, not just for drinking an ice cold beer, but for fish and chips. They serve my favorite fish and chips in the city. But I'd also be kicking myself if I didn't mention the fried Cajun shrimp there. Those are the unsung heroes of the menu, so I think they deserve just as much praise as the fish and chips. But that place is such an icon.
Oh, okay, and best burgers in the city. We have so many. This list is full.
We do. So we compiled a list of Seattle's classic burger joints from drive-through to drive-in. And while my personal favorite is technically on the east side, Broiler Bay in Bellevue.
Same.
Yes. But we cannot ignore the legendary Dick's Drive-In. What an icon. And I think we've all, at 1 a.m. at one point, sauntered over for a Dick's Deluxe and a milkshake. And if not, you probably want to, because it's a Seattle rite of passage.
I love the list. Where can people find your guides?
Find us at theinfatuation.com. You can also sign up for our newsletter and join the fun on Instagram at infatuation_Seattle.
Thank you so much, Amy. We are definitely going to have you back.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
And next up, we're celebrating Persian New Year when we come back. The new year lines up with the spring equinox for a fresh reset. Our whole community is invited to the party. Details when we come back. In addition to the spring equinox, it's also the Persian New Year. Nowruz, which means New Day, is a 3,000-year-old tradition celebrated by millions of people in 11 countries, including our own. Kathia Geller and Nasi Musavi join me to share more about this celebration. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
So I want to start. Tell me the significance and how this is celebrated.
So Nowruz is a 3,000-year-old tradition, as you said, and each country celebrates it slightly different, but the core value is to celebrate spring and the rebirth of everything in nature. So it's a big celebration of nature. It's non-secular, and each country celebrates it differently. We have this table that we set that is kind of like the Christmas tree that people set for Christmas. Okay. Everybody does it. And then it's a very long celebration. So it starts the first Tuesday before Nowruz, that we jump over bonfires to cleanse for the new year.
Okay.
Then it's the new year itself, which happened at 2 a.m. last night. And then we party and visit and eat until the 13th day when we throw the sprouts out. So,
well, we love that. We love a celebration. So tell me about this beautiful spread that we have here too. You designed this, right?
Yes, I designed this. It's our half scene. And every home designs this. And we have traditional, we celebrate, life and rebirth and good health and fortune. And we have symbolic items on here, such as the gold coins for prosperity, garlic for health, egg for fertility, apple for beauty, the sprouts for rebirth, the sumac for sunrise and the triumph of light over darkness. And the mirror for reflection, vinegar for wisdom and patience.
And
along
with the peacock, is there any significance with that, or is this just how you're designing
it's
too?
decorative.
It's her decorative touch.
Okay.
Peacocks are also
But
good
we're looking
fortune.
here. Look at some of these beautiful setups. Oh my
Right, these are the
goodness.
bigger ones that go to City Hall, and Nazi's going to do one this year on the big steps of City Hall. So it'll be a
Whoa.
cascading version. So we really encourage people to come on Sunday from 12 to 5.
I know. Tell me
Yeah.
about it. How there's a celebration each year here at Seattle City Hall. But what can we expect for this one?
So it's open to the public, all ages. We have a kids corner, we have a big art gallery, we have live art demos, live music, live dancing, a multicultural costume fashion show. This is all happening between 12 and 5. Some programming in the auditorium, but a lot of it in the lobby. And we usually get about 1,500 people there. So we really would love to have a 50-50 split of non-celebrants and the general public that's celebrating. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to
important
see.
to have that mix to you all too.
Persians are all about partying, and the new year is all about coming together and celebrating with hope for the future and rebirth and the start. Nature is starting to sprout, and we want to start life anew. So we take these little sprouts and we toss them in the running water to make it clean and a clean state for the new year. So we want everyone to come with us and party. And Seattle Isfahan Sister City that hosts this is the 5th year, is always trying to use any platform possible to introduce our culture. So this is one of them.
Oh, I cannot wait. And what treats am I seeing here? Can you explain what's this?
These are Persian cookies.
These are Persian cookies made by June Sweets, and that's my favorite. You picked my
Okay,
favorite.
okay.
It's a chickpea flour, so people with gluten and whatever allergies they have, they can still have that. And it has a pistachio on top, cardamom, rosewater in most of our cookies. And
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is so good. Thank you
This
so
is also
much.
a cookie, so
I'm taking that later.
Okay.
I have a big sweet tooth.
It's yours.
Thank you, ladies, for
Take
being
care.
here. I
Thanks for
really
having us.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And the Persian New Year
Happy.
celebration will take place this weekend, Sunday, March 23rd at Seattle City Hall. Remember, it's free and open to all. And when we come back, spring is the best time to start planting your garden. Up next, we're cooking with a new book that's all about getting better at vegetable gardening.
New Day Northwest is back, now from the Safeway Kitchen.
Welcome back. This morning we're cooking from the garden with a new cookbook that hopes we'll grow a little more of our own food. Willi Galloway is the author of Grow, Cook, Eat, a food lover's guide to vegetable gardening. And Willi joins me now. Thank you for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love vegetables. It's just like any veggie I absolutely am obsessed with. So what are we making today?
So today we're going to make a tartine, which is just like a fancy way to say open-faced sandwich.
Okay.
So it has Gruyere cheese, radish, herbs, and then the thing that makes it a little bit different is we're going to use the radish greens.
Which I didn't know you could, I guess, is that normal that a lot of people don't know that you can eat the greens, or is that just
Yeah, I
me?
think most times people just toss the greens into their compost, but actually they're super tasty. They're best cooked. They're a little bit, if you kind of feel, they're a little bit, I don't know, Velcro-y. They have like a little bit of,
That texture?
they're a little bit rough, and so they're not great fresh, but
Okay.
they're delicious cooked, and they're full of nutrients, so you definitely shouldn't be putting them into the compost.
Okay, eat it, saute it. What can I do to help? How are we
Okay.
getting started?
Yeah, so to start for the tartine, you're gonna put 3 tablespoons of butter into a bowl.
Okay.
And you can,
Yep, we're just
smush
gonna-
it in there.
boom.
And then this is some Gruyere cheese. So it's a nice melty cheese. I like it because it has a bit of a nutty flavor.
Yum.
That pairs up nicely with the radish roots, but you could use Beecher's Flagship, you could use white cheddar, any kind of melty cheese you have. So you're just gonna like, just kind
Just a little of this
you want,
motion?
Yeah, you just want to smush all of the butter as evenly as possible
Okay.
into the cheese, because what we're gonna do is spread it onto some toast
Oh.
and stick it into the oven so that it gets nice and bubbly.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a fancy grilled cheese.
I mean, sold. Any grilled cheese, yum, 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 yum. Okay.
Yeah. And then the thing about a tartine that's nice is you can put radishes in here, but if you had herbs in your garden, you can really put any herbs in. We're gonna put some finely chopped radish. So this is the root that's been chopped up
Okay.
really nicely. You can also put chives, which have, an oniony flavor, but it's not overpowering.
Right.
And then also we've got some parsley.
Delicious. Okay, when I feel like that looks kind of mixed.
Yeah, when that looks kind of mixed, then go ahead and put a half teaspoon of Dijon mustard.
Ooh.
And it doesn't have to be exact. You can just
Okay,
kind of plop it in. Yeah.
Perfect.
Do that, and then a few good grinds of pepper.
Okay.
And while you're doing that,
Yum.
I'm gonna just turn on the
Yes.
stove here for a sec because we're gonna wanna
And is that at like low heat that you would saute or
kind of like medium high.
medium high? Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna put, don't need too much oil, just like about a teaspoon or two in
Okay.
there. Let it heat up a little bit, and then, so if you've got a bunch of radishes that you got at the grocery store, you can tear, you can just kind of twist them off the root,
Yeah.
but you really wanna wash them. They're so low growing, they're really dirty.
Okay, so really make sure you're soaking.
Yeah, otherwise you'll have like a sandy, sort of gritty bite. So
You'll
yeah.
really be tasting the earth there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so wash them well, and then you need about, like spinach, they really wilt down. So you need a little bit, like kind of a lot of greens for even 2 or 3 toasts. So
Okay.
if you don't have enough radish, you can use any other green. You can use spinach, arugula, collard greens.
Just mix it all together.
Yeah, power greens from Costco, like whatever. Just mix it all together and stick it in the pan. So we've got the oil. It's heating up.
Okay, and then we throw all that in.
Yeah, and a good way to use less oil is to actually wash your greens, and then you don't have to spin them dry, just have them be a little bit wet. And so when they hit the hot pan, the steam from the water helps them cook down quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I always just have a little bit of,
Yes, I love hearing that
Yeah.
sizzle.
and then just kind of toss them.
And about how long, or are you looking more at like the look of it to know when it's done?
Yeah, so it takes about 2 minutes, but you want them to wilt, but still have some body, not just be like completely flat and wilted. I like them to still have like a little bit of oomph in the leaf because it looks prettier when you pile it up onto the toast. And yeah, so you can just kind of get them. They're starting to wilt here.
Yeah. Am I supposed to be adding more in here too?
Oh, yeah, right, sorry.
So radishes go in here, what
Yeah,
else?
you're gonna just stir in the radishes.
Okay.
And then we've got
I don't want to let you
chives.
down. I got to do my job
do
over
your
here.
job here. Chives and some parsley, and you can use the spatula just to mix
Okay,
that all
now
in.
I can.
Yeah, and so then see how they're wilted, but you can still like
That's
tell that
fast.
they're a leaf.
Yes.
That's about the stage you want to do, and you can just set those aside.
Okay, and then we've mixed this all in.
Yeah, you mix that all in, and then I've got some bread here. So these are 2 nice different sourdoughs from Makuna Bakery.
Yum.
So they, this one's whole wheat, this one's white, and you can just use that big spoon, and we're just gonna pile it onto the toast and kind of smush it.
Easy.
Yeah,
and
it's super easy.
It like looks so fancy with everything in here, but
Yeah.
it's easy enough. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Okay.
So I think, these are a big piece of toast, so this is nice. It's a great side with soup.
Ooh,
So,
yes.
because you've got some greens on top, it feels a little decadent because there's butter and melty cheese, but there are some vegetables, so it's nice on soup. But it also can be a really cute appetizer if instead of using bigger slices of bread, you use baguette.
Oh, such a good idea. Okay, so this goes in the oven then for how long?
So you're gonna stick it in the oven at 375. It'll get the butter will sort of melt through the holes in the bread, and it'll start to get toasty on the bottom. And you want to look for when it's bubbling and turning brown. So it's about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven, if it's on convection or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and we have some finished ones,
Yes.
right? So we can see what the power of TD.
Yeah. Okay. So. So you can see it's okay. You don't have to be precious about only making sure that the cheese mixture is on the bread, because if it falls off the side, then you get those nice, tasty.
Yeah, the crispy little
bits.
edges.
Yeah. So you have the crispy edges, and then you're just gonna pile on.
Yum.
Ideally on a plate, but
Hey, it's okay. I'm still diving in to taste that.
So you just pile some greens on top. You can put, if you have them, a little bit of extra prettiness, some salt if you want, and then you take a bite. It's super tasty.
Ta-da. So while I'm diving in, tell me about the concept of the cookbook too.
Yeah, so Grow, Cook, Eat is mostly a gardening book. There's 50 different growing guides, and they're really focused on flavor, because I figure if you're taking the time and the effort to grow food, it's really because you want to eat it. So the guides have variety recommendations for really interesting, beautiful varieties. So radishes that are pink and purple and white or cylindrical are recommended in here. And then with each guide, I talk about all the different edible parts of the plant, the different stages of harvest, and I gave a lot of cooking tips because I didn't want to just say, "Oh, eat your radish greens," period, and people are like, "No thanks," you know. So there's cooking tips, and then there's a full recipe for each guide.
So amazing. This is absolutely fantastic. I would just, who needs soup? I just want, this is my lunch. Thank you for being here and showing us how to make this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yay. And if you'd like to learn more from Willi, she's hosting a big seed swap and book signing event at the Filson flagship store down here in Soto on Saturday, March 22nd. And still ahead, we're welcoming the arrival of spring with refreshing cocktails that feature flavors of the season. So make sure you stay with us.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. This is New Day Northwest.
Welcome back. Today is the first day of spring, and I know we're all hoping to see the sun come out more often. Chick-fil-A is doing its part to spread a little sunshine, even on our cloudy Seattle days. So kids, listen up. Visit Chick-fil-A during the month of March and pick up one of these coloring sheets. You can grab your crayons or markers and color your paper just like I did. Ooh, ah. And right here, you can share a story about spreading kindness. Mine says compliment someone daily, okay? Return your artwork to Chick-fil-A to receive a free kids meal. Parents, this offer must be redeemed by March 31st inside the restaurant or dine in or carry out, but there is a limit, one per child, ages 12 and under, and no purchase is necessary. All right, and now that we've celebrated some sunshine and kindness, how about some cocktails to mark the arrival of spring? I say yes. A mixologist, Liz Pierce, is here to mix up some refreshing spring equinox cocktails. Hello, Liz.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
We look so festive today.
Trying.
Yes.
It was a little cloudy out there, so I figured I might as well try to cheer it up a little.
We absolutely do. And you're going to cheer me up by making several cocktails, right?
Yes.
So what are we starting with?
So I'm going to show you first off, our signature cocktail for Hendrick's Gin. It's this amazing gin out of Scotland. You may have seen it around.
I have heard of it.
I'm going to show you first the easy one that you can do at home.
Thank you.
Super
Please start
simple.
easy.
Okay, so you need really no real equipment for this. I've got a jigger here, but you could use like a measuring spoon or something like that.
Okay.
And we're gonna take 2 parts of Hendrick's Gin, toss it right in the glass.
Yum.
Then we're going to take the juiciest lemon I've ever seen in my life.
And using fresh. Why
Fresh,
fresh?
always fresh.
Always fresh. Okay.
So these cocktails are really simple. So you really have to use the best ingredients. There's not a lot of room to fudge it.
Okay.
You know?
You can taste
told you this
like
was a
the
juicy
difference. That is really a lot of juice just came out of that
Yes.
one. I imagine we're making a lemonade then. What is this one called?
Exactly. So this is called the Hendrick's Cucumber Lemonade.
Cucumber lemonade.
reach.
Okay, yes.
We're gonna use a little simple syrup. I have store-bought here. You can make it at home. Equal parts sugar and water.
Okay.
And then you're gonna put 1 part of the sugar. So we've got 2 parts gin, 1 part lemon, 1 part sugar. Would
This
you hand
is
me one of
easy.
those club sodas over there?
Yes.
What we're gonna do, and this is the way I like to do it. I like to add a little bit of ice,
Yeah.
kind of get it
Get a stir
chilled
in
up a little
first.
bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and
How much?
pour some in.
I like the fizz in a drink.
Yeah, that looks great right there.
Okay, perfect.
And then I top it with a little bit more ice. And then why don't you grab me a couple slices of cucumber there maybe? Yeah, however you like it.
I don't know.
We always garnish with a cucumber because it's in our gin.
Yeah, so
We've
you
got cucumbers
actually-
and roses.
Okay.
So we like to drive home that refreshing kind of aspect of it. Look at that.
Ta-da!
Was that easy or what?
That was very easy. I can tell this is going to be refreshing. I'm going to taste test, and you're going to walk me
Okay.
through drink number 2. What are we
Drink
making?
number 2. So we're going to make what we call the Oasium Fizz. So every year we come out with a new extension of our line. This year's is Hendrick's Oasium, and it's just got additional essences on top. So
Interesting.
yeah. So this one was inspired by our master distiller, Leslie Gracie. She took a trip to the desert. She was fascinated by all the flora and fauna. And, you know, they're just thriving in this very inhospitable climate. And she was like, wow, that's so cool. I'm going to make a gin that reflects that.
Yes, and I have to say, amazing, so refreshing, bright. The cucumber and the lemon. I get why you used a fresh.
Yeah,
a real lemon is important. Okay.
The stuff in the little squeezy shapes just doesn't cut it. It
No.
doesn't. It kind of just tastes like chemicals.
You've
We don't
changed
need
me.
that.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so once again, this is your friend here, one of these little citrus presses. They're like $7 at the store. You can't go wrong. So we're gonna go
Lime.
2 parts of the Oasium gin, and then we're gonna do 1 part of lime. Because these limes are kind of small, I'm gonna use 2 halves.
Everyone
because-
needs a little more zest. Okay.
Yeah, we like zest in our life.
Look at that.
Okay,
Amazing.
so you're gonna notice this is kind of the same formula, right?
Okay.
So we've got the
Do I
the
need to
gin.
crack another one of these
Yes,
babies
you will.
open?
We've
Okay.
got the sour, we've got a little bit of sweet. We're gonna put a little bit of the simple syrup in here. Okay? And then
Boom.
to make it delightfully deserty and
Okay.
and so forth, would you please hand me that grapefruit juice right there?
Oh,
We're gonna
grapefruit.
put fresh grapefruit, and I cannot stress this enough. Fresh grapefruit.
Fresh.
is
Fresh. There's a theme.
Is the way, yes. Fresh. It's spring, right? We're waking up. We're just gonna top that in there, and then of course we said a little bit of club soda.
Okay.
Same
And why
kind
do
of
you
thing. So-
like using gin too, just for a refreshing drink for summer and spring?
Gin is so versatile. Anything that you do with vodka or tequila or, any of those sorts of things you can do with gin. So it's really, really easy.
And the first drink too, it wasn't like super spirit forward. Like I was
Right.
really tasting all the elements, which was really delicious. Okay, what did you just top that
I
last
put a
one with?
little, we call this a cucumber tongue.
Oh, okay. I'm
But you can
diving
cut
in.
it any way you like it. Whatever makes it easy.
Beautiful. Okay, and while I taste test, again, drink number 3.
Drink number 3 is a very classic cocktail called Pegu Club. Isn't
Okay.
that great?
This
so
one's
it's
my new
essentially a
favorite.
Paloma,
Yes,
but with gin.
yes, so
And very,
good.
very easy drinking.
Oh, okay, number 3.
Okay, so we're gonna use the Oasium again. We're gonna make this Pegu Club, which, like I said, super classic cocktail Prohibition era. We're gonna make it with our special gin because it's got some extra botanicals in there. There's
Yeah.
like some lovely little desert herbs and fruits and things like that. So it just gives it a little extra.
Spring festive vibes.
So we're gonna go 2 parts again of the Oasium gin, and this one you got to have your shaker for it.
Okay.
If you don't have a shaker at home, use a jar. You can, save your jam jars or whatever.
Get a
Anything that just
shaker,
has a
people.
top.
Get a shaker.
They do cost like $5. So, but you could probably find one at a thrift store too if you don't feel like going out. Okay, let's do a touch of simple. Now the original Pegu Club
Okay.
does not have simple in it. But we like to just make it just a little rounder. Back in the day, people drank very, very tart cocktails.
Is this going in at
It's
all?
not.
No?
I know
With
it
the
looks
color,
like it,
okay.
right? Okay, so if you would please hand me this orange liqueur here. You can
Yes.
use whatever brand you like. I like to use a high quality one because, as I said, it's
Duh.
always like you're putting it in your body. It might as well be nice quality, right?
Okay, and while you're finishing up and making that, I'm gonna taste test too, just for time purposes.
Yum, yum,
Keep
yum.
going.
Okay, we're gonna put another squirt of lime in there. And then the color from that is not the grapefruit juice. It is Angostura bitters, every
Ta-da!
bartender's best friend.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you so much. Take us to break shaking. These all were delicious. Thank you for being here. And after the break, I'm doing a little more spritzing. We're celebrating National Fragrance Day with the latest scents to fit your mood.
This is New Day Northwest.
Tomorrow is National Fragrance Day, and we do love a celebration here. Plus, wearing a scent can boost our confidence and even evoke memories. I personally just love a spritz and finding a signature scent. And here with 5 fragrance moods and her favorite picks to go with them is Nordstrom National Beauty Director, Autumn West. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love fragrance. It's so fun.
It is. And so I want to talk about how fragrance is obviously so personal, but it really is for everyone, right?
Yeah, so fragrance is personal, it can be mood boosting, and you might have a signature, but here's the thing, like you can change your vibe and really have like fun with it. It's a silent accessory for everybody.
Okay, and talking about that, the signature fragrance, we don't have to have one, and so you were mentioning, what can you do?
So let's say you have a signature fragrance,
Yeah.
but like layer something else. Maybe you want to lighten it, you want to brighten it, you want to make it more moody. So you can wear more than one fragrance at a time, or
Whoa.
you have one that you wear just for special occasions. So
Yes.
yeah, just depends on your mood. Pick a different vibe.
It should be kind of like clothing then with that. Like, what's your mood? If
Yeah.
you're feeling a little flirty today, let's go. You have 5 fragrance moods, speaking of that, and a few picks in each category. So we're gonna get going with your first one, clean.
Yeah, so clean. So this category is not just clean because of maybe the ingredients that it uses. These are natural fragrances, but clean as in they're really light and fresh. So like you just stepped out of the shower. I like to say this category is for people who like don't like fragrance. You're gonna use scents like this. So like Lake and Sky, this is their newest scent, Apare. It has fig and a little bit of lemon in there. So really
Interesting.
light and bright.
Okay.
Right. Ellis Brooklyn also has multiple scents. Coincidentally, this also is a fig base and it has bergamot, another citrus. So light, bright, fresh soap, clean smelling. You can't go wrong with these. It's like fragrance starting.
It's a
Fragrance
starter
light.
kit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe an
because
appetizer.
So many people are saying like, oh wait, I don't want anything overpowering. So that would be a really
Yes,
good category
absolutely.
for someone that's in that. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're moving right along to nostalgic is
Yes.
our next one.
So I want to be clear, all fragrances are based on notes, but if nostalgic, I don't know about you, but when I think about something nostalgic, person, place, or thing, it usually revolves around food. At least for me, it does.
Okay, I like
so,
it.
like food-based scents are very much trending. Like you're gonna see vanilla in a lot of fragrances right now. So this season we've got Fleur fragrance. This is actually new. It's only been out for a few years, this brand. This heavy cream, it has marshmallow notes, coffee, vanilla, and it's really light and sweet. So don't let the food like kind of scare you. These are really fun to wear. And it's body mist, so also really, really nice and light.
Oh, body mist. Okay,
Yeah.
we like that.
Okay, Burberry Goddess. Now I love this one because this has hints of lavender.
The packaging on
Yeah,
that too.
right.
I'm
The packaging
really
is
into
so
that.
pretty. It's cute and petite, but this lavender, so it just feels really relaxing. And again, like think about moods, nostalgia, like things that make you feel good. That's kind of what I think about in these scents. And then last but not least, Le Labo. This is matcha. Yes, it's based on like matcha tea, but it has some like musk and florals in there as well to kind of balance it out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, moving right along. There's so many options. Flirty, if you're feeling flirty and
Okay,
fun.
it's exactly what you think. Flirty is something that you want to be noticed, right? Maybe it's a little
Absolutely.
bit bold, a little bit catchy, and most flirty scents are going to be like your floral-based scents. So Jo Malone Frangipani Flower, this is limited edition. They do a limited spring scent every year. This year it's the Frangipani Flower.
You can't
And
go wrong with them.
You can't go wrong. And it's, again, all of these are always mixed with other notes, but that's like the hero. Then you've got Rabanne for women. This one is going to have a little bit of rose and musk, so a little bit softer, still sweet. And then like I'm kind of saving the best for last. So this is flirty, it's floral, but it has green tea in it. It's Bulgari, and this scent is only at Nordstrom, so you can't find it anywhere else.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I think you
have
should
to,
smell this
I'm
one.
like, I gotta have a little spritz of this. Ooh.
Right?
Very light.
Yep, a hint of floral, but not too much.
Because normally I'm not a floral girly, but I really, really like that. Okay, who knows? I might have found my new
And here's
scent.
the thing, if you're unsure, like don't buy the fragrance, come in and just try it on. Get a
Yeah.
little sample, like free samples at Nordstrom, so you can leave a little sample to make sure that you like it.
I love that you guys do that because sometimes you need to like wear it and really
you're
see.
the final ingredient, so you kind of got to like see how it melts on your skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, rustic. This I find really interesting.
Okay,
so
so
what is happening?
Rustic, it's my favorite category. And really, when I
Really?
think of rustic, because this is going to be really warm, spicy, moody. It's going to have like woods in there, leather, whiskeys, cognac. I mean, if I may say, it's like very seductive. This is like your sexy category, if I'm allowed to say that. And so
Yes,
I
you
think
are.
about this of like the scents I want to smell on someone else.
Because when you first said rustic, I was thinking like manly, like
It
more
can be,
masculine.
but like spice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
spice. So here's the thing.
Okay.
So we've got Killian's Angel Share. So Angel Share is the leftover smell after whiskey is coming out of a barrel, and that's the inspiration for this scent. So hence like that like whiskey cognac smell, and even the bottles here are to emulate like a whiskey tumbler.
Absolutely.
So like really rustic and fun, very giftable. Then we have Diaz Durga Cowboy Grass. Yes, it smells like the outdoors, but in the best way. So like sage, sandalwood, thyme. So like just like outdoorsy.
Yeah. Okay,
really
so not like fresh cut grass. We're getting
not
something.
fresh cut grass.
It's more elevated, y'all.
Like I said, so like rustic. And you said it, like a little bit more manly way, but anyone can wear these. Like I wear Angel Share.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, you
a
sold
scent
me
for
then.
everybody. And then Tom Ford Bois Pacifique. This
Tom
has
Ford.
a surprise scent, and there it has a little bit of turmeric in there, and then mixed with sandalwood.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and last one, Universal. I see one of my faves. Okay,
Yes.
what is happening here?
Okay, so Universal, here's the thing. These are scents that are trending or that anyone can wear. Dolce & Gabbana, it's been around for 20 years.
I believe it.
It's
This is the
resurging.
best.
It's woody and floral mixed together. And then we talked about layering. I have to say my favorite, this is Mojave Ghost. I wear it with that lake and sky. This has hints of magnolia in there, so I get a little bit of my floral and I mix it with my fresh. You can't go wrong.
Oh my gosh. Okay, while I spritz this, tell everyone too about the styling services you guys offer.
Yeah, so like we said, free samples at Nordstrom, but if you're not sure, we have beauty stylists in every single Nordstrom store, so they can go, you can come in and say, hey, I need help, and they can help you discover a fragrance, sit you down, ask some questions. Every store, and if you're not sure, we even have online stylists that you can chat with. And last but not least, we talked about notes. If you're shopping online, you can filter by notes. So if you don't like floral, you can unselect that online at Nordstrom.com, so then you don't see that as an option. We make it really, really easy for you online in-store with our services.
You guys always do, and if you see this one missing, it's just because it takes me back, and I'm really happy to see it.
Absolutely.
Making a comeback. Thank you so much, Autumn. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Hopefully you find your silent accessory.
Definitely. And thank you to you all for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content, and you can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Don't forget to enjoy your new day, and of course, we'll see you next time.
Some segments of New Day Northwest are paid for by these fine sponsors: